Yeah, I know. I know. You're uniquely defective. Ah, Coach Richard here. Yeah, there's a lot of people that wander around these days and say, well, that's just not me. I can't do that. I've tried that before. I've gone through all this before. Oh, I know. Countless others are achieving the things that they set out to do, but I just can't because you see, I'm uniquely defective. Is that you? I mean, really, is that you? Are you going through that phase right now where you're uniquely defective? That you don't have the ability to, oh, let's say, recapture your energy from your youth? That you've got the vigor and vitality, stamina, to do a lot of things that maybe you were capable of doing 15, 20, 25 years ago. But now, it's just hit that age and I can't really do it. Yeah, you can. Everything really is a top-down game, right? Really starts here and goes from there. How many people I've worked with through the years that convinced themselves that they just weren't capable of losing weight, right? I'm just not capable. I've tried it before. I've done a million different diets. Well, it's not about diet. It's about here deciding that you're going to be healthy. And then we set out on the plan to make sure you can achieve that. Because you see, you're not uniquely defective. It's just part of the human condition that insists on failure for you. And that whole thing is what I've been talking about the last couple of days, suffering. We avoid the suffering. We don't look at it as something positive. We look at it as something that really needs to be avoided. Look, you're not uniquely defective. Everybody and their mother goes through those challenges of avoiding that suffering, that hardship, that thing that we need to break through to get up here, to increase our standard of living, to increase our standard of freedom, to increase our standard of well-being. That uniquely defective thing really is just really an excuse to ensure that you stay in the status quo and never, well, I guess never really challenge yourself to be more than what you are today. You see, there's lots inside of you. There's way more inside of you than you can possibly imagine. There's so much greatness that resides inside of you, and you work hard to pull it back, to rein it in, to rein in the greatness, to make sure that you can't get there because it's going to be uncomfortable to break through, that the stagnation has set in. And you have to break through that crust. You have to break through that resistance. You need to break through that thing. And I tell you what, when you do, it is glorious. It is glorious because suddenly there's achievement. There is beyond hope. There's a realization that you can do it, that you are not uniquely defective, that you can reach down and decide that the prosperity quotient in your life is going to totally change because you're deciding it's going to, and now you're going to take the steps and go through the steps in order to be there. And a lot of things you're going to try and resist, a lot of things that you're going to turn around and really make up excuses ahead of time of why you can't do it. It happens, and it happens so much. I've seen it in all walks of life. A doctor colleague of mine, Dr. Christiane Northrup, if you're not familiar with her, you can look up her books and the things that way. But one time she was asked in a medical forum, we were sitting there back in Salt Lake City at a big old convention, and they said, doctor, why aren't more people doing what you're doing? Why aren't more people doing what you're doing? In that case, doing what I'm doing as well too, me, Coach Richard. Why aren't more people doing it? You know what she said? She said, because you see, doctors by their very nature are too sophisticated to get rich. that, that it's like, I can't do that. You see, I have this title and I can't help other people really achieve great wellness and health and vitality and prosperity at the same time. I can't do that. You see, I'm a doctor. I, I just burst out laughing. I said, oh my God, I've seen that over and over and over again. Not just within that crew, within that cohort of people. I mean, people just in general. They say, I can't do that. What? No, I can't. Why? Why? That little that little lady over there, that little man over there that came in from a different country and suddenly they're living well beyond their capabilities where they came from because they decided that the opportunity was far greater and what it promised them was far more than it was even possible to think about where they had come from. So yeah, uniquely defective? I don't think so. I know you're not uniquely defective. I know that you can unleash the greatness in you. I know that you can grab hold of that vigor and vitality and energy. I specialize in that. I specialize in people getting from where they are to where they want to be from the standpoint of having time for their family, time for their grandkids, time for their other passions, time for a whole host of things, but they have to break through. They need to break through in order to understand and realize that they are not uniquely defective, that they are there. So what do they have to do? They have to suffer for good. They have to go through that phase, not avoid the phase, must go through the phase of just enlightenment here, and everything else starts to flow, and you get into a flow state. And that's a discussion for another day. So yeah, throw out that rubbish of saying, hey, I'm uniquely defective. Maybe that's other people do that, but that's not me. Yeah, you know what? Nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. You ever talk to me about that? I'll make a point of ensuring that you are not uniquely defective. But you might have to work through some bullshit that's up here. All right, that's it from Coach Richard today. Oh, by the way, what does that really pertain to a lot of times, right? Is in athletics. I've seen people hit barriers in their training, in their racing, and it's only because of what's going on here is keeping this from moving faster and farther down the track or around the track or around the roads or up the trails or whatever it is. It all starts here. It's a top-down game. And that, my friends, is a lesson for another day. All right, take care, everybody. Coach Richard out. Bye-bye.